The BenHeck Show is brought to you by Element 14, the electronic design community and online store built for engineers and hobbyists alike. Join now and browse the store at element14.com.
In the year 2000, Ben Heckendorn built his first mod.
We can rebuild it. Smaller, better, portable.
Since then, he has continued his work, helping those in need with creative new projects. If you've got an idea you'd like to see built, why not send it to the BenHeck Show?
Hello and welcome back to the BenHeck Show. On today's episode, Team Heckendorn strikes back. That's right, it's the return of Pinball Wars. Also, acclaimed pinball designer John Popaduik is going to be joining us again, and we're going to be helping him work on his BenHeck Zombie Adventure pinball game. That's right, a pinball game starring me. Let's get started, shall we? So what I'd like to talk about first is our driver system. This was the one we made back in the spring for our Lost game, and it had a lot of problems, and since it's been hit with a blowtorch. So instead of trying to design it from the board and hoping everything will work right off the bat, I made a breadboard, which is what I really should have done in the first place. Now the Bill Paxton game was built like this, where just little components at once. So first I made a brain using an Arduino Mega compatible embedded system. Then I hooked up switches to it. Then I made the lights work. Then I made the solenoids work. Then I made the sound work. Then I made the video work. So I did it all in parts so I could make sure everything works slowly. So instead of doing it all wrong at once, or all one problem, I made sure everything worked bit by bit. And then I designed that into a nice new motherboard that only had a few problems. So you can see we have our power entry here from a ATX power supply. Switch it on there, but you just leave that on. Fuses, this gives you the 24 volts. It takes the 12 volts and steps it up to give you 24 volts for the lights. Here's a parallax propeller. This is used for the display. This one's kind of cool. You can hook up NTSC or PAL, VGA, or we have a custom DMD we're having made that hooks up there, so whatever you want. Then there's even backbox LED animation, so if you have like LEDs using to illuminate your backbox, you hook that up right there. Then down here we have our switches. This uses some Darlington transistor arrays and tipped 107s, so we can run up to 64 switches. There's even some general illumination MOSFETs, so if you want to turn on a whole bunch of lights on or off at once, you can do it. There's 2 bits. An accessory port right here, so you can hook up things like infrared sensors and motors to your board. Over here we have our 24 solenoids with the watchdog timer and the AND gates. Then here's where you hook up your 50 volt power supply. Then 2 separate plugs just for cabinets. So this basically stays up here. 2 plugs, which is your cabinet switches, like your flipper buttons and whatnot. That goes right here. So it's easy. You unplug these 7 and you can pull the board out. You unplug these 2 and you can unplug the cabinet. Then we can have RGB drivers, so we can have RGB strip lighting in here. That's controlled by this. Then up here we have sound. 3 of these SD cards go to sound. A little headphone jack right there, and some cheaper, better digital potentiometers. So yeah, this is the new board. And all the empty space, I just made a whole bunch of mounting holes, so if you want to add components, it's easy. So what they're doing is they're basically putting together the BenHeck Zombie game right now. John Popaduik, creator of Theater Magic, I've been working with Jones, and I've just been working on the Lost machine. We're multitasking here because we have 980 square feet. Plenty of room for multitasking.
The evil BenHeck's weapon of choice is the atomic glue gun.
So here's what they're doing. They're taking this Super Mario Brothers game. It's me, Mario! They're taking the parts off of it and using it to build the test playfield for the BenHeck Zombie here. So we're actually going to route 2 playfields for the Lost game, so we can print them both and use the one that turns out the best. And right now what the machine is doing is just making a little lip for the lighted insert. See the ledge?
What am I working on? I'm stripping these wires off these parts we stole from Mario over there. And we're going to wire them all up so we can get the board flipping, or get this playfield flipping with Ben's board system. So eventually we'll have wires all running back there and hook it all up to his board. So.
This one has 2 diodes, so I think we have
You could put 2 diodes in. So basically there's a main power here and there's 2 returns. So the 2 coils, but they both have the same common anode, right? And then it's which cathode gets triggered, that's what coil fires, right? Skittle? This is a legendary soldering iron. It was used on actual pinball assembly lines back when the Titanic was made. The ship, not the movie.
Your cutters or John?
I'd like my cutters.
You can't have them.
They were here before.
They're mine!
Ben is measuring the ohmage of each winding. There's 2 windings in the flipper coil. So one's a power winding that gives you full stroke, and then the other one is kind of a light duty one that'll keep the flipper up, but then the coil won't catch fire.
Wait, are we sure what we're doing here?
If you have a power supply, like a 12 volt or 24 volt supply, we can hit it, and then you'll see which is the...
Yeah, I've got one right over here, actually. Okay. Yep, it's like mine. The one with less resistance is high power because the wire's thinner.
Less resistance is high power. Right, so the 4 ohm is the power coil.
Right.
He did. I told him he wants the Blu-ray.
Is Ben a horrible bosses for making you do that?
Yeah, he's a terrible human being. Doesn't pay worth a crap either, but we make do.
How are things going over here, John?
Good, good. We're just wiring up kind of the flipper coils, and we've created a row of switch wires and solenoid wires to keep it organized. So it gets a little messy, so this way it's a little easier to troubleshoot if something's not working. Well, I think last time I was here we talked about kind of Ben's inventiveness and his glue gun and being creative, and it's like, for pinball, kind of how would that work? So obviously that puts him kind of at overlord status, so he needs some minions kind of working underneath him. So, and then the amusement park, theme park's always good for pinball because you can do ramps and really cool underground shots and things. So then putting it together and then kind of a light zombie theme. So not so much horrific and graphic, but more kind of 1950s kind of atomic, you know, a little retro. So, and it's nice. And then it makes the pinball game more interesting because you have a couple different thematic elements that you're putting in, creating this new idea. And then those are the ideas that usually are really good. That you're kind of like a cake. You're putting, you know, good frosting on top of good cake with some other things, and so it kind of works out well. But still hard work.
So you've been referred to as a minion. How do you feel about that?
What's even worse, I'm Minion 0. He assigned me a computer number. He gets to be Minion 1. Oh well.
We've been talking about Element 14 for a while now. You already know that it's a place to come check out hot new products through their road test product giveaway. You also know that it's a place where you can get free help from engineering experts. Additionally, you can check out groups like Arduino and robotics. Now, check out Element 14's new technology page at element14.com/technology. There you can look at the new innovative products that are specially chosen with a design engineer in mind, exclusive dev kits, evaluation boards, and a ton of other groundbreaking products. Want to find out more about a product? Element 14's team of product experts is there to answer your questions. You can ask right there on the site. Element 14 is the trusted source for end-to-end engineering solutions, with great service and also fast delivery. Plus, it's all connected to an online community where you can access information from your peers, experts, and of course, independent reviews as well. Now you have the one place to find the answers you're looking for and to find the parts you need, which will power progress fast.
We're testing, so we'll just get in some basic components first. Shooting, one pop bumper, one slingshot, and then we'll add more LEDs will go here, get some lighting going, and then just start putting down things made out of foam and paper, and if you have posts, get the posts out there and arrange them. Maybe that'll be a ramp entrance here, and then you can kind of get down and look at it, and it's much easier to move things around at this stage before you go to wood. And then here's a target, set of targets. So you'll put those out. You might want to come up with something different, or maybe up high, move your posts around, and kind of play with it, and then shoot it. to get a feel, and then start to draw and lock in. So we're going to put our flipper buttons here because we don't have a cabinet. First thing we have start button.
That's exactly what happened in our core switch.
Well, the switches on the cabinets for this new board work differently than the old board, so I've got to write a little code. So we use these shift registers to get all the inputs instead of having the inputs hooked directly up to this. So I've just got to figure out what pin number everything's on, since I've already forgotten since I designed this board 3 weeks ago.
Who is that?
His name is King Arthur, but it's Arthur for short. He was a stray cat we found, and then he's in all the games, so he brings good luck. And then when I was younger and had a studio and didn't have any money, on the real bad days, you'd open the wallet, like the empty wallet, and it'd be like, buddy, there's no money for food. And then the phone would ring literally an hour later with a project or something, kind of. So we put him in all the games. So.
Good luck charm. We kind of inadvertently put the smoke monster mode into Lost that way by burning up a coil one day.
Oh, okay. That's not bad if it doesn't take down your
yeah, it didn't hurt anything else, so.
Yeah.
A couple of dead coils along the way, but that's all part of building pinball machines.
No, you're right.
All right. What we're doing is, what would you call these, John? Sorry.
They're paper ball guides.
Just paper ball guides, okay. I guess, yeah.
We have like a
So-
foam and paper maquette, basically kind of like a, kind of like a three-dimensional sculpture of paper, and so real pinball machine is, wood and steel and lots of plastic here, where we substituted foam board, paper, bond paper, so we can kind of create and develop quickly using the glue gun, and be able to shoot a real ball around once we get the flippers going. So we're kind of working on that. And we can prototype much quicker in days than if we were building it all by hand. It might take a week or 2 weeks to kind of do this. So actually we save time, and it's more, it's kind of more natural, the feel you get once you end up with the different shots and things like that.
And then if you don't like it, you just rip it off and do it again.
And we have one real bumper too that'll be working soon.
Yep. And gotcha, suckers!
Soon you will rule the universe.
So then if this is like my perfect entrance for, say, have a really cool ramp, or there's some atomic thing here for the shot, then I would measure, it's 18 inches up, it's 5 inches over at this point, and this one is 19 inches up and 7 inches over. And then go into the CAD program, lock those in, and then pick other points that are important. This might be a target, say, over here.
Okay.
So, depending where that target is, but say it's like perfect right there, the same thing. Measure on the grid, get those points in.
Okay.
So it'd be like grid location,
Yep.
5H or something, and then it's like within their positions.
Right. This is designed from feel, from playability, and then it doesn't really matter where they are, I just need to copy it over. So when I make the next whitewood, or the first whitewood, then it's exactly in this position. And then this always stays the same, so that's not going to change.
Okay.
So, yeah, sometimes doing that makes a big difference. Just quarter inch that way, quarter inch that way. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. Where on the computer, if you're just in the computer looking at it, it's really hard to know.
Yeah.
You have to kind of flip. And then with our our kind of sample here, we just raise up the back a little bit to get our 6 degrees when you're flipping, and then get a good idea. Or make these a little longer, like we glued those, make those another couple inches longer. Yep. And then when we're all working on it, it makes it more fun because we're all kind of sharing the workload, but then we're all kind of contributing to make it great.
Yep.
So then it actually makes it a better game because all that kind of energy gets into the game. Like if you believe in karma and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like ego. It's because we all know Ben's the smartest, but it's kind of
He said it, not me.
it's kind of more about less ego and more about how do we get it done and how do we make it very creative. Because we know anybody can start making a pinball machine.
Yeah.
It's very easy to start, but it's really hard to finish.
Yeah.
Finishing, sometimes less is more. So you don't need a lot of stuff built in. You don't need 4 motors and 4 flippers and to make a really good game. You just need some really cleverly thought out, kind of well spaced or well choreographed things around the game, and then some good music, some good artwork, and to make it really kind of like classic. Yeah. So it's not about being more, it's really more about being clever.
This is what I've always wanted to do, is roll a pinball across
Actually, that's a
Ben's
good shot.
face.
Yeah, right there. Oh, shh, broke his glass. Oh, messed his hair up. Shh. Oh, look at that. Oh, wet in his ear. Shh.
Let's see, is it like one of those
The cool thing is you'll
dolls?
live.
Like, do you feel that?
Ow! I put the extra support there too. So.
Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, look at that.
But the cool thing is that you live forever like that. So that's the really. So when you're really, 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 really old, then you'll remember.
Be like, I was young once.
That's what I look for.
That's all the time we have for today. In our next episode, we're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving by looking around the shop and seeing what leftover parts we have and making a new project out of them. Thanksgiving leftovers. We'll see you then. Stay tuned at element14.com/TBHS, where you can join the discussion, suggest builds for the show, and even have a chance to win upcoming builds. Remember, you can always email build ideas to BenHeck at element14.com. Thanks for watching.